shouldn't listen to this. I have to claim this space. I'm going to put out videos like this. For a while, I'm just going to put out really self-indulgent. I mean, I guess most of my videos are really self-indulgent. But, like, this is kind of my lifestyle now. I'm totally cut off socially. Like, I've stopped going to jiu-jitsu. I've been in my room. And I'm gonna get really weird and like crazy, like a shut-in, like basically like if I just sit in silence like a monk, it's I can start to believe in like superstitious shit or something like that. So I know I keep saying the same things over and over, but I'm just trying to like run a narrative in my head to sort of express how things are. So I just I don't know, just basically to remind myself like what the fuck is going on. I don't know, but you shouldn't listen to this. This is I want to say like it's crazy, but really like what's anybody else's lifestyle like? What I'm saying, it's not not in accord with reality. Like I'm not saying like pigs fly or there's secret demons who are planting dreams in my head. I'm analyzing my situation and I'm describing my life as sort of a problem that's not really a solvable problem, and then I'm trying to think like what to do. Like I'm sitting in my room and thinking like, all right, I'm 45, this is the way I see the situation. And I feel like this is easier than going to a therapist, because if I go to a therapist, first of all, I won't be able to be this honest, and second of all, they don't really care. They're just basically like, I don't know, you shouldn't listen to this, but basically I don't really know what the point of life is, but in general it sort of feels like the point of life is basically to stay alive and maybe to breed, and then to have some fun along the way. But my life basically, it just seems like an unsolvable game. And it's definitely unsolvable now. And so, I'm not gonna like kill myself or anything like that, but basically I'm trying to, like, if I kick around in my head, was it ever winnable? I don't know, but it doesn't seem like it's winnable now. So basically, what is winnable? Basically just having a good career, and then having a woman. I'm gonna sound like a real weirdo. I know you're supposed to say like wife or something like that. It doesn't matter. I'm not going to plug in socially anymore, so it doesn't matter if I sound weird. I'm not even trying to appeal to women or anything. I don't care anymore. But I'm just trying to sort out my thoughts. And so basically in my stupid life is such that like I always craved sex with like a pretty woman. I know that sounds really like bestial or like crude, but that's it. I don't know what I know people say like intimacy, you should have like a friendship, it should be about something deep connection. I don't know, whatever, but like I don't know, to me it's just like I'm not trying to sound like misogynistic or something like that, but I'm just gonna meander. I'm gonna say I'm just sorting out my thoughts. I'm trying to get grounded here, but you shouldn't listen to this. Basically, I just spent the whole day drawing a picture of a really sexy woman, and I wanted to draw her getting raped by ogres. One of the reasons I live stream is because left to my own devices, that's all I used to draw. Before I discovered live stream, I thought like I couldn't get myself to draw anything other than like the sexiest woman possible, and I'd just redraw it sexier and sexier, because I'm a mammal, and deep down I just want to fuck. I want to fuck a sexy woman with a big butt and like big boobs, and I guess I'm a terrible person. I guess I'm like a low life degenerate. I've always craved pussy with like pretty face, big butt, big boobs. If I say that, it's like that's some animal. I know like what women say is like terrible. You should want deep connection. I don't. I mean, maybe I did a little, I guess, but if she doesn't have those features, that's what makes a baby. I know this all sounds like nuts, but like anyway. So basically, if I'm left to my own devices, the main thing kicking around in me since puberty has been like I want to fuck a sexy woman. but sexy women, like, we know you want to fuck a sexy woman, but we want money, we want love, we want somebody who's going to serve us. I get it. And so in life, I've kind of just craved sex with a sexy woman, and they're like, well, we're not like objects, like, what are you going to do for us? And so basically at the same time, like, in my life, I was only really good at art, and then I majored in art because I don't know why. I totally, basically, I just wanted things my way. I wanted to do what I wanted, and then I wanted to have fun, like, doing art, because I just used to draw in my notebook all the time. Anyway, get to the point. Basically, it didn't work. I couldn't really juggle the two things. Like, if I thought, okay, I'm like, okay, women want money, they want you to get a job. Okay, fuck this art thing. Like, the art thing doesn't equal money usually, and so I'd crave sex and I'd be like, fuck this art thing. Okay, I'll go get a normal job. And so I tried to get like an IT job when I was like 36 or something, and then I was like, this is too fucking boring. And also, like, I have so many other problems, like basically just having like sat inside and practiced art all the time. I've always wondered, like, is the art thing basically just hiding from the world? And also, I can talk about this till the cows come home, but basically it just didn't work. It didn't work. The sex with a woman, or just being with some woman who's not sexy, that never worked. Dropping art never worked. And just like playing the role of a man, like, I don't want to talk about this a lot, but basically, like, I don't know, it doesn't matter. I'm just sorting out my thoughts. But basically, like, I hate the way I look right now. Like, I've always had this thing where it's like, all right, like right now, 3 days ago, I took a bunch of testosterone, because there's always this thing where, like, I was always cursed with this face where, like, if I starved myself, basically, or if I starved myself, or I just got really skinny and I didn't take any testosterone, I could get pretty, and I could do this thing where I'd sort of like turn my eyes like this and be like, oh, I'm pretty, I hope somebody discovers me, I hope some woman likes me. That never really got like a woman to like me very much. I mean, she'd like me, but it was always like, I got the sense like they want a man, they want like an aggressive man who's gonna be a go-getter and, I don't know, get a mustache. So throughout my 20s and 30s, or throughout my 30s, I was like, okay, they want a man, I got to get on testosterone, I got to take steroids. And so I would do this thing where occasionally I'd like shave my head. This is just back in. And then I would take steroids, and then I'd turn into this. I don't make a good man. Like, pretty women, they were like, I need a man. Can you be a man? And if I take testosterone and I bloat up, basically if I don't do what females do, which is basically be docile and like nice and skinny and grow my hair out long and be like, I'm a nice person who's harmless, like, I hope somebody likes me. I don't do good on the aggressive side of the thing. Like, if I take steroids or if I grow a mustache, I'm too old for any of this now. But the idea of abandoning prettiness, basically, I love being pretty. I don't know why. It's not a gay thing, but it's weird because throughout my 20s, basically I have this fucked up, like, big nose, like, I just have like feminine stuff. I have like a small jaw. I have kind of a small mouth. Like, I don't, if you put testosterone in me and you beef me up, I have like slight little hands. I have like dainty little hands and skinny bones and stuff. Basically, I have like a female type frame. I even have like boobs. I have like little man boobs. And so there's bitchy sort of like female stuff. And so if you starve me and make me really polite, I can make you're kind of elegant and pretty, but I'm not gay. And so what would happen is if I would starve myself and be skinny and pretty, just some gay guy would come along and be like, I kind of like you, or some like pushy lady. I was like, fuck. And so throughout my 20s and 30s, I'd be like, okay, I got to be a man. I got to get aggressive. I got to be less shy. I got to like take public speaking. I got to take boxing or something like that. I got to get aggressive. I got to be more brave and get the fucking pussy. Go talk to those women, overcome your fear, and just quit being like a wallflower. And then if I did that, I never made the women are like, what are you doing? Like, you're not really like, I don't have enough like man stuff. So anyway, that always cursed me. And then basically I don't know, just all throughout 20s and 30s was like, okay, like I can be skinny and pretty and I can just kind of sit at my desk and then life kind of passes me by and I'm like, I'm working. And occasionally some pretty woman would go, hey, like you look kind of cute, like can you talk to me? And I'm like, oh, like I'm too I always want somebody to come to me. I know how to do like a female game, which is basically like, you know, oh, like I'll just stay skinny and pretty, and if I look pretty, someday my princess will come. That never really worked. I guess it kind of worked in my 20s. I got like a few like pushy, chubby ladies or something. That was a really lame game, but that was the best game I could do. It's kind of like jiu-jitsu. Like in jiu-jitsu, they have basically two different types of game. They have the aggressive masculine style game, which is called passing guard, which basically means I'm going to get up and I'm going to go get that person and I'm going to jump over them and I'm going to be the aggressor. But then in jiu-jitsu, they also have playing guard, which is basically like you defend and you stay on your back and you be like, don't hurt me, don't hurt me. And then you have to sweep them and get on top of them. And it's interesting that like in jiu-jitsu, at least in my observation, a lot of the feminine looking guys, they would play guard. They do this like, oh, you come to me and then I'm going to try to trip you. And then the aggressive macho like burly guys who were all ugly, they'd like try to get in there. And if they run in and they attack and they run out of energy, they can slip up. It's, I don't know, what am I trying to say? It's just, it's fascinating to me how there's like, I don't know, there's dynamics that kind of play out throughout life. But anyway, every time there was kind of this thing where like, if I starved myself and I just did my work and I was really quiet and sort of like shy and pretty, it felt good and it was good for doing work, but it was never going to get any pussy. And so I'd do that for like a long time and I'd be like, God damn, I never get any pussy. I gotta be brave. I gotta lift weights. I gotta like take public speaking. I gotta like quit being a pussy. And or I'd take like fighting or something. And then like, even if I got the girl, there was just kind of this thing where it's like, you're not really, I don't know, basically like I never made like a good man. Like if you put me in, there was times when I'd like grow a beard, like even now with like a mustache, I just don't like being a man, but I love sexy pussy. Like I love like women, I love their big butts, I love their pretty face. I just want to fuck a pussy. I jerk off to like sexy chicks every single night, so I just crave pussy. But I don't make a good, I could never imagine being like a man with like one of those man shirts. Like if you put me in like a man shirt and have me like drinking beer and getting all fat and stuff, I don't make like a good man. Like I'm kind of like a soft kind of like man boob sort of like, I don't know how to explain it. Like I don't make a good, I don't like who I am when I'm like being all like right now I'm still on testosterone and I've taken testosterone on and off because I'm like, I don't work. Like what the fuck, the things that God gave me, they don't, I have this craving for pussy, but if I do like man stuff, it's like I hate myself. And then I end up just being like, I can't, and then if I even do that, like I can never get a woman that like I'm attracted to. And so I don't know, it's just kind of, I'm always kind of like, what the fuck, God, like what the fuck. And so I used to think there was like a right way. And so I don't know, the last few days I've just been reviewing my failed life and I've just been thinking like, was art the bad thing? Like all that time that I was doing art, my dad's voice in my head was saying like, you're doing it, don't think about sex, that's bad, you need to work on your career. And I was always like, I'm working on my career. But now like there's no jobs and I just kind of, life passed me by. And I think like maybe I was just hiding. Like maybe even though I'm good at art, that's really the only thing I'm good at. Maybe all that time that I was doing art, I was just kind of hiding and being a coward. And I should have just gone and talked to some woman. But really like, if I'm really honest, like, like I don't really do anything. Like I don't really, I've gotten, I don't know if I ever did anything. I don't know if I ever like, I keep thinking like, did I ever talk with anybody? Did I ever socialize? I think I was always kind of scared of people. It was kind of like the art came about because like I was always like really scared of everything. Like I was scared. I was just kind of, I guess I was just always too scared of like the world and people. And you put me in like a bar or like a dinner table or like a restaurant table and everything's like, oh, and then people go like, oh, you're really scared of stuff. And so I guess I should have like fought that a long time ago. I would always go through these things where I'd like do art and I'm like, I'm working on my career. And then I got a bunch of jobs, but I would just quit because I'm like, oh, like people are being mean to me. And I would always come off as like awkward and antisocial. And anyway, now my career is like totally, it's just kind of over. It's like I'm too old. The whole field has kind of changed now, and a lot of this stuff is like being replaced by machines. And so it's just, I'm 45 and it's just like there's just this real feeling of like, what now? And so you know, as a broad generalization, just basically floundering between like inability to get a woman for long, and then just if I could get her, I'd have to get on steroids and I'd have to do all this like aggressive shit, and then I'd be like, I can't sustain this because this like being a man thing, it's like I don't even really like it. And so eventually I would just, if I stop steroid, like I just took steroids again, but the steroids are gonna wear off, and then eventually I'm gonna just think I just want to be pretty. I just want to be skinny and pretty. Fuck the weightlifting. Fuck the like fighting. Show me your war face. I don't make like a good man. Even though I did win this jiu-jitsu tournament last year. I can't really, I don't know how to explain it. I can't imagine myself being some heroic man who brings home the bacon and is like, there's some pretty wife and she said, my hero. Like, can you imagine me like that? I'm somehow like too weak or too flawed. There's something about me, or it's just, and I just hate myself. I hate this fucking face. I've always hated my big nose. I feel like this sick, like shitty mutant guy who's like, I'll never like this guy. I'll always just be like, think I'm fucking ugly. And then if some woman comes along, she's like, well, I don't think you're ugly. And then she's too ugly for me to be attracted to her. And so I just always like pretty women or something. And so anyway, what's the point? Anyway, no pretty woman is coming. I say this and I'm watching my videos and I'm like, what are you doing? Like, are you complaining? No, I'm just saying like, that's been my situation my whole life. My mom knows this. She knows that you're too hung up on prettiness. And every time I ever had a girlfriend who was kind of like so-so, like there's always an overweight ethnic chick, some overweight Hispanic or Asian lady or some Indian, Iranian, overweight something, and just not like a hot blonde chick. There was one hot blonde chick, but whenever it was an overweight ethnic chick, I'd be like, I'm not really into you enough to get married and have kids. And then she'd go, fine, and then she'd go with somebody else. And so anyway, there was like two hot white chicks who were with me when I was in my prime, which was basically like 32. And then there was just a bunch of like, it didn't work. I couldn't be man enough. I couldn't make enough money. I was like too frustrated with the jobs I had. And then I just always go like, oh, I'm just going to go hide at my dad's house. And if you hide at your dad's house beyond your prime into your late 30s and into your 40s and now your mid 40s, eventually it's like, guess what? Like fucking time's up. There's no. And so I don't know. I guess there was a feeling of security that I had, like doing this art. Basically, like I hunkered down. I kept flip-flopping to being like, oh, all right, okay, I'll be a man. Women want like a normal guy with a job. Okay, I'll get a normal job and I'll get my own place and I gotta be brave and I gotta form social skills. And if I do that, if I drop the art thing, I'm like, everything is geared towards just get money and pussy. And then I'm like, well, this is awful. Like my whole day-to-day life is just, I'm gonna hate life. Even if I get a wife, I'm just gonna hate what I'm doing. Like I tried to get like an IT job and I got like my own place and stuff, and I was like, fuck it, like I give up at women. And then I would just go do art in my room. And if I do art in my room, it's like I can do art in my room, but basically like no pussy, no wife. I know you're not supposed to say pussy. I know you're supposed to say like I know, but since I'm not trying anymore, that was always what I really wanted. I don't know. Anyway, get to the point. Anyway, it's totally over now. Like it's just like I failed and just there's no hope anymore. And it's just, there was never hope because I'm cursed with this setup that just, it doesn't work with like people. Like I can't like what I can have. I can never accept my face. I fucking hate this face. I only really like being like, if I get rail thin and I stay off steroids for like a year, I can get like kind of like skinny in some sort of like female way, but I have to be like quiet and peaceful and stuff. But I don't make like a good aggressive like you fight you. I don't know how to explain it. Like, I know life's competitive and you're supposed to be like fuck you, like I'll show you. I don't like I'm like a reprehensible asshole, and I hate being like that. Like I'm always, even if I took this jiu-jitsu thing, even winning the thing, I didn't even like winning. I was just like, I don't want to like make other people feel bad, and so I'm inherently like just not cut out to like thrive in human life. But I always crave pussy, and so I'm always like, I don't get it, God. Anyway, so anyway, I'm just gonna go ahead and say like, I failed. Anyway, this last year and a half, I was taking jujitsu, and I was trying to like learn to socialize. And there's something in my side of me that's like, maybe I can still like be a man with a woman and get a wife and have a kid and stuff like that. But there was just this feeling like too fucking old. And then the options are so bad. Like there's just kind of like it's just over. Like if I look at it's just impossible. It's impossible because even if I got a girl, I'll never understand how you're supposed to do it. Because even if I got a girlfriend, I know that I just want a hot chick. That's all I ever wanted. It doesn't make sense to me to like, I don't know. I just wanted like, what's the point? I know that's reprehensible too, and I'm not expecting to ever date ever again. But I'm just saying like, I literally don't understand like humanity. I don't understand the rules of like. I don't understand that balance of like, if you get somebody who's I had girlfriends who were not attractive, and I'm like, this doesn't work, I'm not attracted to them, I'm not going to want to do anything. Like, what do you do? And then so somebody'd say, you're shallow, and then I'd say like, well, if I get a hot chick, like that works. But then people go like, you're shallow. And so I just always think like, I think everybody's full of shit, or I don't know, maybe they find somebody who's hot enough, and then they tell them it's not about hotness. Anyway, I just crave pretty face, big butt, big boobs, sexy pussy that can make a baby. I guess I'm a monster, but like just now, like the whole day, like if I'm left to my own devices, I'm just gonna draw like some really sexy woman and just jerk off. And every night I jerk off to like pretty face, big butt, big boobs. Anyway, it's all kind of I keep thinking like, isn't this stuff gonna subside? Like now that I'm like an old man. Anyway, I'll never understand the game of life, because even if I got like a pretty woman, I would know that it was like a shallow premise. And then if I was with somebody who's not pretty, I know that I'm just gonna be like jerking off to porn, and she's gonna be like, you're not attracted to me. And so it's like, whatever. Just I never fucking figured it out. Just anyway, so I'm thinking about like the last 2 years I was going to jiu-jitsu, and I was trying to take these like acting classes and stuff, and really it was basically in the back of my mind is like, can I become somebody who can fit into the adult world? Is there an ability to become like a man who can talk to a woman and have like wife and kids and go to dinner parties? And it's just like, no, it's just the women my age, they're all too old, and it's just I'm too old. I looked at ChatGPT says like, I looked at like the typical milestones of life. I've passed all of them. Like most people my age, a lot of people my age are actually grandparents. Like I'm old enough now where my brother, his kid is in college. Like I should have had kids like 20 years ago, and it's just fucking like over. And so anyway, I'm just gonna go ahead and say that like I couldn't do it, and I kind of floundered and spent a lot of time kind of hiding and saying like, later, I'll get a job later. And I just really just kind of hid in my dad's house. Every time I got a job, I would bail out. Every time I got in a girlfriend relationship, I'd be like, it's not good enough. Yeah, basically every job I got was not good enough, and every relationship I was in was kind of like not good enough. But then when they left, I was like, no, I want you back. And so it just never I never figured it out. Anyway, so here I am. So basically I'm looking at the options of like what to do. And so one of the options is like, I quit jiu-jitsu 2 weeks ago. Jiu-jitsu basically is just a dose of human contact. And it felt really good, like going to jiu-jitsu the last 2 years. I'm not going to grow into like a social person. Basically, like, most of the time that I tried to fight my weaknesses and try to like, I'm gonna face humans and be brave and like I'm gonna not be a pussy, it never works. Like nobody, like I went to this jiu-jitsu gym for a year and a half. Nobody wants to know me there. Like nobody is my friend there. Nobody's like, hey, where's Sean? Nobody called me. I don't like connect with people ever, really, like in my whole fucking life. Like I'm so scared, and I'm so really disinterested in other people that like I can force it, but at the end of the day, like it just kind of falls apart because I can't really enjoy humans. I'm too scared. And I think it's just genetic, because really like my dad doesn't have any close friends, and really like my brother, he doesn't really. I know my brother's kind of, he has the same genetics as me. I don't really know my brother's life, but really, like, he's at home at a computer all the time too. I think it's genetic, really, and just even my brother's main friend is like some aggressive guy. My brother needs to be acted upon. He's not really like, I'm gonna go to you, hey, how's it going, friend, how are you? Me and my brother and my dad, we're not like, I'm gonna go to you type of people. I don't know how to explain it. We're like, my mom said this, so we're kind of like you do me type person, which is not, it sucks to be like a heterosexual man and be like that, but really it's basically like we need to be acted upon, and that's just not it doesn't make for like a good life as like a heterosexual man. And so really my brother's kind of like, he'll disagree, but really, like, I'm sure right now he's sitting at home at a computer, he's gonna probably jerk off to porn, he has no wife, and really his baby mama's, the mother of his child, kind of like was an aggressive woman who kind of acted upon him, and he's like, oh, I guess I'm gonna have kids. But we're kind of like lamos, I guess, sort of scared, timid, soft. And so it just, we never could overcome. But I swear it's genetic. I swear, because it's like, it's not just me, it's my uncle, it's my dad, it's my brother. We're all these kind of like quiet desperation, sort of just life passing us by type of dudes. And then some people kind of acted upon us when we were young, and now it's just nothing's acting upon me now. There's just, now I can safely say I'm in like the old man stretch. Like, basically it's like yeah, basically I'm gonna have to what I have to do now is I have to cope with, like, all right, I've failed at career and I failed at career and the ability to have a wife. It's over. I don't even want to entertain the idea of it, because it takes so much time geared towards that. And I just basically I want to basically think of a life I'm thinking like 45. What am I really going to do? I can't really socialize, and I've never like really had fun with people. And so if I think about it, like, I really hate myself, because I know deep down that, like, that's the best stuff in life. I know that, like, it's people, and like, these are the people in your life. Like, even I really get mad at myself lately, because I'm just like, there's these people who, if you're like a shy, timid person who's like just kind of like hiding at your computer, it's really sad, because basically there's these people who kind of come through your life. Even dogs I have, and they're like, hey, like, play with me, here's the wall, and I'm like, oh, I gotta hide at my computer, and I'm too scared to do anything else. And there's just been people who have said, hey, this is our life, like, this is our time together, like, don't you want to know me, don't you want to play with me? And they just eventually die. And it's not cool. It's just like I really am like a defective human who should be more interested in like relationships, because that really is like the most important stuff. But I'm too timid and too unable to really enjoy people. It's so like I really hate myself, because like I really I'm missing like basic like human shit that makes people like, hey, like giving people a hug and being like, I love you, like, this is let's play together. I guess I'm just too self-conscious about my face. I hate my fucking big nose and my small mouth, and I just feel like I'm too self-conscious that I'm just like, I know I look ugly, and I can't get over that. I basically am like, this isn't fun. Maybe if I was like a virtual person. Anyway, jiu-jitsu was kind of like a little way to have fun, because there was no talking and no eye contact. And so if I went to jiu-jitsu, there was kind of a feeling of like, oh, like I'm playing with people kind of, but it's kind of like, it's barely fighting. Really, it's just basically like you're fighting from your butt, basically. So it's kind of like, it's really basically play, and it was human contact. And so for whatever reason, that kind of would like fire me up. But then I thought, like, maybe I can do that, and then maybe I can add like chatting with people. And then I thought, I'm going to do that 10 minutes a day. I'm going to Zoom chat every single day, and I'm going to learn to like people. I'm going to learn to like play with people. And I swear, like, you can lead a horse to water, but you can't make him drink, like every time I've ever tried to change my nature, it's like bending like teeth, like, I don't know how to explain it. It's like you can bend them and they just kind of like revert back to their thing. And just I'm always gonna like want to isolate and just put my head in the sand and do computer stuff. And I know like no one can help me, but I would imagine, like, if I'm trying to think, like, all right, no bullshit, like, what are we doing, Sean? Well, I figured out this thing where, like, I can live stream. That's what I can do, is I can live stream all day, and I can do some kind of art thing, and just, I can feel like I can get rid of loneliness. Basically, I can do some sort of, like, internet chat with people. And so, basically, I'm probably going to do something like, I'm basically thinking, like, I can't just live like a total monk. Like, basically, I turned off the internet for most of today, and then I just drew a sexy woman getting raped by a goblin, and it's just crazy. Like, if I'm left to my own devices, I'm really like a weird guy in like a shed who's gonna draw like porno pictures and just jerk off, and it's kind of I'll redraw the same thing for like a week, and it's not good. Like, basically, like, that's the reason I initially live streamed all day, is because I want to save myself from my own depravity. And so I got to get rid of loneliness, but I don't want to get commandeered by some nasty, like, older single mom type person. I'm not trying to sound like a misogynist, but I kind of know that that's like the typical thing that happens, is like my dad and like a lot of my friends' dads, they basically got commandeered by some like nasty lady who basically said, you're gonna be alone if you don't, like, I know that in my just a lot of men's life, I don't want to sound like a misogynist, but in my family, the men are really like kind of like docile, timid, pushover, scared people who get sort of victimized, and they can get, basically, I don't know, to be really honest, older women my age and older, like, they can't have kids anymore, and so I don't see like sex. I'm not attractive either, and so I just think sex is kind of over, and I don't want some nasty, I don't want some like lady just being like abusive to me. Like, it just seems like if I deal with some woman, it's gonna be some aggressive woman who's gonna go, hey, do my stuff, and I hate that. Like, I'm not trying to be a misogynist, but just like, that's just horrible. And so I don't want to get, I always say, don't get dominated. Like, I know I'm sort of a pushover, like, submissive type person if I'm really being myself, but like, if there's no sexiness, like if it's just like older woman who's gonna go, hey, you gotta do my thing, you're gonna be alone if you do my thing. I saw that growing up. Like, my whole childhood was basically this submissive guy just getting whipped by some guy saying, go to the store, and like cheating on him and just calling him like, she's not gonna respect me because I'm like this lame-o, timid, complainy guy. And so I just think like, yeah, I basically think like what I'm probably gonna do, what I've seen, the weird sort of homeostasis, I should call it homeostasis, the weird sort of homeostasis thing that I've basically found is basically living like kind of like a gay guy minus the sex. Basically, like, I'm not gay, but if I basically get really skinny and pretty, I feel good about myself. And then if I just do art all day, some guys will like talk to me, and I can basically talk with guys. And some of those guys are gay, but I'm like an old man, so I don't expect that I don't even think gay guys are going to be attracted to me. But basically, that's kind of what I expect to do in my future, is if I think like life with a woman in the future, I just can't see that. I don't see doing that. And I think like, well, what about just doing art in my room with the internet off? I can't see that. It's too lonely. Like, there's just this choking like loneliness. And so I guess I'm just going to do some sort of weird lifestyle where until I die, I'm going to have to just get like a dose of human interaction somehow. Like, I don't know, I'm going to do some Zoom chat. I tried to Omi chat, but it's too nasty. Like, everybody's just like insulting. It's just a barrage of insults, and it's just really depressing. And then also jiu-jitsu. I really should go back to jiu-jitsu. The jiu-jitsu, if basically the thing is like, if I go to any domain of people for long enough, they're gonna start insulting me. I'm just sort of like I have a lot of like quirks and just annoying things about me, where over a long enough period of time, people are gonna start like jabbing me and calling me some nasty nickname. And so now that I've been at jiu-jitsu for like a year and a half, sure enough, just like middle school, just like my whole fucking life, the guys they're gonna go, hey, some nasty nickname, and he's gonna like be he's gonna call me like a fool and all this stuff. And so I guess I could go to like another jiu-jitsu gym, or just skip jiu-jitsu. I don't really have to go to jiu-jitsu, but jiu-jitsu was kind of like a good like get less afraid of people. But really, honestly, I've tried a lot of times throughout my 20s and 30s to, I'm like, I'm gonna get unafraid of people, but it never sticks. Like, even if I do that, it's kind of like, and people are like, I don't really want to, they don't really like me. I can't play with people. I have nothing I can do where it's like, hey, like, I always think of like chatting as like a ping pong match. I don't know how to like have fun with people. I don't like, I think like, I can ask questions. Like I did this Zoom chats where I'll say like I'll ask like, okay, I'm gonna ask questions, and I can play like 20 questions. I can set like a little timer, and I can force it, and I can go like, all right, so how was your day? What's your favorite color? What was your family like? And it feels like this forced thing. It feels forced for me. I'm basically looking at the timer, being like, when is this gonna be over? They're feeling like it's forced, and I don't understand like. I don't understand how you interact with people, and it sucks because I kind of missed out on so many things in life. But I wish I could like enjoy people. I wish that I was a totally different person. I wish that I had like completely different genetics. Anyway, I don't. So the question is like, just how I can have fun in my own way with my fucked up genetics that suck. And so basically the best thing I found is basically like live streaming seems to really be good. Making these videos seems to be essential, and then it seems like really like workout, draw. Those workouts are really like essential now. Like if I don't do a workout, and if I don't do drawing, and if I don't do art, it's just neurotic, like fucking doom, gloom. You're gonna die, death, hate everybody. I hate myself. Like it's getting like really and now like all my parents are basically falling apart. It's just like really bad. I don't want to just complain, but basically it's like I'm just trying to analyze, like I need this, like basically like it's really clear to me that I need this like channel, and I need to rant like this. I'm not trying to get attention. I feel sorry for anybody watching all of this, but like I need to figure out like how to manage time, the passing of time, so that life isn't just complete fucking like terrifying nightmare like depression shit. I'm exaggerating a little bit, like basically like yeah, I can tell like I'm doing like a little bit of drama stuff right here, because basically like just like 2 hours ago when I was drawing this really sexy woman getting raped by ogres, life was actually pretty peaceful, but it was a little like too dead. Like I'm basically realizing like this stuff that I'm doing a little bit is kind of like just to feel. I want to feel alive, so I'm kind of like drumming up artificial life, but really like that's kind of what I think I'm gonna do from here on out. Is like nobody cares, but just record. I applied to like every job in the San Francisco Bay Area, just any job, like driver jobs, just total dumb shit, like jobs that I would hate to do. I applied to all of them that are available that I thought I was applicable. Just nothing. Just like I applied probably to like 100 jobs over the last week. Crickets. Just nothing. Some tow truck place said they'd like keep me on call and maybe give me like $20 here and there to like at random times go help them with some tow thing. I'm like, those are the only things available. It's like you have to be available anytime, and just like here's your little $40. I can get $100 just from asking my dad. So it's like the jobs just seem like. Even if I don't even want a job, but even if I wanted a job, it doesn't seem like I can even get one anyway. And so basically I'm thinking like, this is bad. Like all this complaining shit is like not good. And so I should try to stop this complaining shit. I should never, a lot of this is like testosterone too. And then I should never do testosterone again. I have to just accept old age, but then also like do workouts, and basically just never take steroids. This was taking steroids. I should never cut my hair short, because I don't make a good man. And basically this is what I want. This is the best that life can seem to be, is just have like long hair, get skinny, be pretty, don't ever take testosterone, and then just kind of like do some kind of workout. And I'm just going to do that. I'm just going to live stream, do some kind of workout, I guess I should socialize a little. The thing about socializing, though, is that I get stuck in people's stuff. I don't know how to explain it, but if I'm really honest, people kind of like stab me. I don't know why. I really see people as basically these like vicious monsters that just, if I get in the mix with people, they always like dismantle me. They notice that like I'm this weak sort of like soft guy who's not going to hurt them, and they're going to like jab me, and they're going to get me roped into their stuff. They're going to say, here, why don't you read my thing, you know, you should do this, and then they'll say, hey, you should really do this, and then after a while I'll start letting people like direct my life, and then it's just, life kind of just is like all fucking weird. And so basically it almost seems like, for me anyway, any kind of social interaction is like usually kind of toxic anyway. Eventually I just get like used and abused, and just get stuck in their thing, and I feel all terrible about myself. I can't really like banter with people, and like my mom likes that. My mom knows, if you fight, if she knows how to like, she likes to like stab and like say like, ah, you suck, and like she does that with, it just seems like most social people, they kind of like to like do that, and they like to have this give and take of like, can you read my thing or go to my event, and then I have to do, I just tend to always get like, I lose control of my life if I get in the mix with people. And so I don't know, really, it's fucked up, but it's almost like a self-preservation thing. Like really the best way for me to exist is basically live stream and make videos and just have one-way interaction. I don't know why anybody would watch this, but if I'm really honest, if I read their thing, if they start affecting, it's not like a nose in the air like I'm better than people, or I'm not trying to like dominate or something like that. I don't even care if anybody watches this stuff, but all I know is that in my life, if I mix it up with the more interaction I have with people, I just lose myself. It's not good, and everything, basically any interaction with humans for the most part ends up being kind of toxic. I'm not sure why, but they get on my mind. I get stuck in their stuff. They're gonna tell me some little nasty comment that's gonna linger in my mind all day, and basically like the best lifestyle I really found was basically just live streaming, not looking at comments, I'm not trying to be mean, but just they're gonna like drag me down. They're gonna say like, hey Sean, you do this, and I'm gonna get stuck in their like stuff. And so it's never, and then I end up being like, oh shucks, like why don't you tell me what to do? And they say, Sean, what you should do is this, and you should do that. And I'll go, okay, I'll try what you say. I'm too much of like a pushover to really like do that. And so what's the point? I don't know, I'll figure it out. I need to get some sort of dose of social interaction, so maybe I'll do like chats once a day. But I'm basically like a really weak, like easily victimized person. If I'm really honest, I'm like I'm just primed for like some kind of sucker stuff. I'm gonna do some stupid foolish stuff. But I don't know, the best thing that basically the best thing I've found to basically do is just live stream art all day. Doesn't seem like I can get a job, and I hate these fucking glasses. Like, boy, maybe I should wear contacts again. It's so fucking weird. Nobody cares, but just for good, my whole like feeling of like well-being basically always came from like just thinking that I look pretty. It's not gay, but I guess that was my game. Maybe it's because I'm like scared of aging and death, or some combination of it. But basically, like I know that like in the future, I'm just gonna like work out and try to get skinny and try to look in the mirror and delude myself that I'm pretty, and I'm gonna wear these little filters because I just need to believe that I look attractive. It's weird. Like I'll never understand manly men. Every time I've ever tried this, nobody cares, but I took this testosterone and I shaved my head. And I'm like, I'm gonna grow a mustache. I hate looking like a man. I want to be like pretty, and it's not gay, but I'll never get it. I'll never understand the man who's like bald and he has a mustache and he's like cigar, like I'm handling business. It just fucking, doesn't make sense to me, and I hate not looking pretty, and so I'm not going to be able to, like, I'm just either, I guess I'm just going to wear some sort of princess filter thing until I grow my hair out, and then I wrote down I wrote that spiel every day where I said, like, don't shave your head. If you shave your head, you're gonna look ugly for like 3 to 6 months. I'm gonna look ugly for 3 to 6 months, and I'm just gonna be kind of a shut-in weirdo guy. I'm gonna be a shut-in weirdo guy who's gonna have to delude himself that he's pretty, even though he's clearly really old. And I'm gonna have to get to some dose of social interaction, and just do little weird games and do little weird videos, and prevent myself from getting in some nightmare situation where some older lady comes and commandeers me. I'm terrified of that. I'm terrified of, like, just being dependent on some nasty lady like my mom was with my dad. I just have this terrified feeling of, like, some bossy lady being like, you need me, and I'm gonna be like, please, like, this video making is pathetic. That's more pathetic. That whole thing that I saw with my my mom and my dad was just middle-aged, lonely guy, totally dependent on some bossy older lady who just is like, I got you. You gotta do my stuff or you're gonna be alone. It's like, I'd rather do this. I'm gonna do weird, like, I don't care how creepy or pathetic this gets. I'm never doing that shit. And so, anyway. But anyway, luckily nobody's knocking at my door. Anyway, I'll figure it out, I guess. So what's the plan? The plan is I'm gonna take some sleeping pills. I'm gonna try to live stream, and I'm gonna try to just figure out how to basically do life kind of living alone. I'm going to try to help out my dad. I'm going to live alone. I just need to find a way to basically, I want to get a dose of human contact I want to basically get rid of loneliness, and then I just want my freedom to just kind of do what I want. And I don't want to get roped into, like, other people's stuff, but I don't want to be a total asshole. So I got to sort of juggle that. I would like to find a way, like, this morning I chatted with people, and normally, like, the people in my chat, they're really mean, and they say all these, like, insulting things, but when I chat with them in person, they're kind of nice. And so I want to chat with people, but I'm worried. I'm such a pushover that I know that I'm going to get roped into their stuff. I know that somebody's going to say, hey, why don't you do this? Why don't you go look at my thing? Why don't you come with me to the baseball game? Why don't you go to my wedding? And then pretty soon I'll go, okay, and then they'll sort of, like, knock me off course. I don't know how to explain it, but whenever I get in the mix with people, suddenly, like, my life is they're I know you're supposed to do that, but, like, I never ask people to go to my thing, and so what ends up happening is just suddenly they're influencing me. They're getting me into their show, or they're telling me to play this video game, and now I'm playing this game, and then it usually is bad. Like, if I get influenced by other people, I sort of get used. I suddenly just find myself like, how did I get into this weird activity that I don't like, and why am I doing this drug? They'll like say, you should do this drug, or you should get, like, a tattoo, or you should do this thing, and I'll be like, oh, tell me, like, what I should do. I hate that. Like, I'm always like, it's just, it sounds fucked up, but really I don't know how to enjoy human interaction, and so in general it just seems like I have nothing to gain, but I always lose. They're gonna, like, stab me with some nasty comment, or they're gonna get in my head and say, like, life is about this, you're wrong, Sean, you should do this stuff, and I'll be like, oh, is that what life is about? And then I get stuck in their little narrative. And so what's the point? I don't know. Basically, I've been live streaming for 4 years. The best thing I basically found to do is just to do art. Really, I should stop this ranting shit. I'm particularly, like, keyed up, I think, because of these steroids, and just quitting jiu-jitsu. It's really jiu-jitsu is really addicting. Like, if I it's really hard. It's going to jiu-jitsu is basically like being in, like, a hot tub, and then if you get out, just normal life feels like significantly colder. And so anyway, I don't know, maybe I was doing this the whole time, but basically the best thing I basically found is to, when I can get like more calm and when I can establish a routine, I should, if I can, I should establish a routine of just waking up at a certain time, and just this little schedule thing I have. I wrote this little schedule where I have like my goal. I write down my goal, and my goal usually involves do some sort of wake up game, walk my dogs, draw for like an hour or two, and then do like 6 hours of some kind of 3D modeling. If 3D modeling just gets completely replaced by robots or something like that, do some kind of other art thing. But I would imagine that like just life from here on out is realist. I'm never gonna get a job. I'm never gonna get married. I'm too fucking dysfunctional, and it's just too fucking late. And it's just, again, like, there's people my age who have grandkids. My brother's kid is already in fucking college. It's fucking over, and everybody my age is just not attractive anymore, and they already have kids. I don't want to do the bidding of some single mom. I really am kind of like, I like women, like, I guess I'm kind of like a misogynistic. Am I? I don't know, but basically, like, I just always wanted sex. I was just like, I want like a hot chick who's pretty face, big butt, big boobs, looks like they can make a baby. They're gonna know that I want that, and they're gonna want like a bunch of money, and I don't want to do some job that I hate. So it was never gonna work. Just, I was born with conditions and cravings that just could not work with like the real world. And so anyway, it was doomed to fail the whole time. I could never figure it out. And so anyway, the name of the game really is just now to just cope with like aging and death, and try not to go nuts. And that's it. That's all I'm gonna do. So I'll work it out. I'll figure it out. I don't want to get victimized. I know like people are going to say you should do this, and it's going to be some social thing, but I stand nothing to gain from human interaction for the most part, and I always lose. I always get used and abused, and I get some person. I'm like a country bumpkin. Like, somebody will always like, it'll be like, sorry sucker, that's the way the cookie crumbles. Like, pretty much every time I've ever like gotten in the mix of people, it's like, you fool, you got stuck in their thing. They tricked you out of like a bunch of money and time, and then you're just like, what the fuck? And then when that shit like, whatever I do with humans, it's gonna fall apart. Like, the friendship's gonna fall apart, the relationship's gonna fall apart. People are gonna be like, thanks sucker for your time and money. And then what's gonna happen is I'm eventually gonna be left to my own devices, and I'm gonna start drawing. And if I don't draw on live stream, I'm just gonna draw like sexy warrior babes getting raped by ogres. And so I don't want to draw. It's kind of crazy. I'll redraw her sexier and sexier, and I'll like, what if her leg is this way? What if her thigh is a little bigger? What if her boobs are pushed up against the troll's chest or something? And it's just like, it's kind of crazy. I don't even draw efficiently if I don't get off live stream. I'm even more stupid and more lollygagging. And so anyway, I just gotta wait for these steroids to go off. I'm gonna wait for these steroids to go off, and I'm just gonna keep putting out these videos. And if life is really like, if I took steroids, like, it's gonna take like a month probably for the testosterone to totally get out of my system. I should never do steroids ever again. I should never cut my hair ever again. I should find a somewhat functional, not horrible way to get a dose of human contact without seeming like a gay person, and without getting stuck in other people's stuff, and without getting a bunch of like nasty comments from people that make me feel terrible. So that's all I got. That's I'm just gonna. And I'm in like a bad spot right now. Like, basically, like, I shaved my head. I'm gonna look ugly. I'm gonna hate the way I look for like 3 months. These steroids are gonna take a while to wear off. It's going to take a while to get back in the habit of like, just wake up, play Salmon and Duel back, listen to podcasts, draw for an hour, get a grip on my mind, and then do something constructive for just 6 hours, and just make it to the fucking, and then do a workout. Basically, if I just do structured drawing, workout, 6 hours, listen to stuff, and just get through the fucking day, and try not to do this like drama shit. These ranting drama things is just like, this is the kind of neurotic shit I do if I'm not drawing. This is why I should draw and listen to podcasts, because otherwise I'm just and all of this ranting is just not good. And so I probably shouldn't even read that spiel thing. I should probably just back to basics, as they say in Alcoholics Anonymous. Just wake up, spiel, or wake up, play Simon, play Dueling Back, get on the ball, get a grip on my mind, draw for like an hour and a half, draw for 2 hours, use a filter so I'm not all self-conscious about my fucking ugly face. It's such a bummer to be ugly. I can't. I'll never be able to accept like old ugliness. I'm gonna really have to wear a filter all the time. I never understand like my dad or people. It's such a bummer. I used to just love being like, I just want to be pretty. I want to be skinny and pretty, and so I'm gonna have to wait. I'm gonna have to wait 3 months for my hair to grow out. It's gonna be all gray. I'm never gonna look very pretty ever again. But I'm never gonna just be able to have like a mustache and these glasses. Like I just can't accept this face. It's too fucking middle-aged nerd. I don't like looking like a man either. There's something where it's like I don't make a good man, and so I'm gonna have to wear some girl outfit because I just want to be pretty. It's not like I want to be a girl, but just like I nobody's listening, right? But I'll never understand what it's like in the life, in the mind of like another man. But those guys who just are fine with ugly. They're fine with mustache, bald head, glasses, and just like I'm the guy who does the reports and I drink my coffee. And how do you not want to be pretty? How can you stand to just like, don't you just even just delusionally pretty? I just cannot stand to be fucking this ugly. It makes me really depressed. And so normally if I wasn't live stream all the time, I would go get like plastic surgery or something like that because I just can't. It's too ugly. I can't stand it. Why can't I stand it? Because that was like the only good thing about me, really. That was my whole game when I was younger, was just be pretty. And I also just feel like at some fundamental level, people don't really love you. They don't like you if you need something to be likable. And my personality fucking sucks. I can't socialize, and so it's really kind of scary just to think about the future of just, if I look at like my dad and people who are really old, eventually you just get so old that nobody wants to like look at you. If you just get too ugly and too old, it just seems like nobody wants to look at you. Nobody will even listen to you. I mean, maybe I should seem like freaky. Like I keep thinking like I seem to be sort of playing into this sort of like I basically in my animalistic mind, there's a part of me that's basically thinking about the future and thinking like, how am I going to have anybody even look at me to get rid of loneliness? Like there really will be sort of, I'm going to have to either do some like really good art projects to get any attention at all, because it would be terrifying to just be somebody who just like nobody likes. Like actually I keep thinking like I value the trolls. Like I sort of think like I'm probably to some degree sort of leaning into like just whatever. I'll be like a loser. I'll be cringy. I'm gonna probably do some workout in like a girl outfit, just because like I cannot imagine how somebody just basically goes into their 50s and 60s and 70s and just deteriorates and becomes somebody that like nobody wants to look at. Like I'd rather be like an oddity. I'd rather be like some sort of like freak that people go like, what a fucking loser, than just like somebody where it's like nobody even wants to come there. Basically, somehow I'm gonna have to solve the loneliness thing without shacking up with like an older woman, because I'll never do that. I'll never want to do that. I don't even like to do stuff. I don't even like whatever people. I don't even know what adults do. They go to the show. They go watch some Netflix movie or something. I don't like any of that shit. I just want to do something constructive. Even just this ranting, at its core, is basically like I want to be like mentally active, and I don't want to get lost in like other people's stuff. I don't want to get lost in some movie. The movie's going to give me some weird ideas about how life is supposed to be, and I'm going to go like, oh, maybe I should do what they do. I want like control of my mind. And so that's kind of a lot of what I'm doing. When I'm doing this, I just want to grip on my mind, and I want to control my own little narrative and direct my brain, and then kind of stay active and be like, all right, like, well, how the fuck am I going to get through the remainder of this life without it being a fucking nightmare of shit that I don't want to do, and getting used and abused by other people or just my own cravings. And so that's what this is about. I'm going to try to that's kind of what I'm gonna figure out in the future, is just some way to just get through the fucking day and just get a dose. It seems like I need a, I'll just come up with little things. It's like, oh, that makes the day better. Workout, something constructive to do, that something like art, really art. But I don't want to just draw porno pictures. That's all. Nobody's listening, right? But it's weird. Like, before I discovered live streaming, like when I was in here like 8 years ago, that I couldn't stop drawing like just sexy warrior babes getting raped by goblins. I would just draw like some sexy warrior babe in like shackles or something. She'd be like in some board, and there'd be some like big ogre guy like with his big penis like slamming his fat belly into her perfect butt. And like, why is that hot? I don't know. That's been a kink ever since I was a teenager. Ever since I was a teenager, nobody's watching this. Ever since I was a teenager, I found out that I could draw, and then I found out if I drew a really sexy female body, it made me really horny. And then I found out if I drew her getting defiled by some like giant spider or like an alien or like a big ogre, I was like, oh my god, I get so horny. Anyway, what's the point? It doesn't really do it for me anymore quite as much as it used to, but if I live stream, I'm too embarrassed to draw that, and so it saves this live stream and making videos is really to save me from my own depravity. And so anyway, this is my lowest low. Basically, we'll just refer to this kind of shit. If I'm making these like really long, neurotic, ranting about personal garbage, like, I should stop this as soon as I can. I should reduce the number of these videos, and then try to establish a routine where I just do constructive, mentally absorbing artistic projects that just, and listen to podcasts and just somehow get like a dose of human interaction to just, or I don't know, just basically get rid of loneliness. I know that sounds fucked up, but like, I just know myself. I wish I was, nobody listens, right? I wish I was like a different fucking person. I wish I was like a normal man. I wish I could just go to a job and just be like, this is not the most depressing thing in the fucking world. But I genuinely just like, I lack the social skills and the courage and just whatever makes people just go to a job and be like, hey Janine, like, this is fun, I like this, let's go to the volleyball game or whatever the hell people do. I can't do that stuff. I can't stand just getting on some bus or whatever the fuck people do. They go to some bus and they go to some place. If I don't need the money, I cannot imagine, even if I got a job, I just can't imagine willingly doing that. And so I would imagine I'm just going to continue to try to duck work until I'm starving, and then I'll probably die in the streets or something like that. Basically, necessity is probably going to have to make me do it. Yeah. Anyway. Or I don't know. Who knows? Eventually, I'll just be dead. Eventually, there'll be cancer, and the shit keeps going. It doesn't matter. Some loser guy is ranting and dealing with his procession from middle age until death in some room. There's a war in Russia. There's a war in Israel, and there's bigger problems. No one fucking cares. I like that sort of thing. It's like no one cares, and so. But I really do. I wonder, like, what do most adults do? Do most adults, older adults, like 45, do they play like canasta? Do they watch some Netflix thing? Do they go to have like wine and cheese and like talk about art? I guess just most people can do eye contact and they can have like a good time. But boy, like if I didn't have this thing, I don't think I ever could have really learned to be okay with my face and just look at people and be comfortable. Like in my whole life, every time I'd ever do it, I don't think I ever did that. And so if I didn't have this, I would probably just be some really uncomfortable guy. Like if this live stream life didn't really exist, I know that like what probably would have happened is I just would have some bossy lady that I wasn't really attracted to kind of dragging me around to different things and saying, come on, we gotta go to the cheese and wine thing. And someone would be like, hey Sean, how's it going? And they would be like uncomfortable, and my girlfriend would like roll her eyes and she'd say like, can't you socialize? And I would be like, oh, hey, oh, uh-huh, mm-hmm, oh, yeah, and I would just have some weird fake stuff that I'm doing to sort of get through the interaction, but it would just be all painful, and just like, everyone would just, it just, no one fucking liked me my whole fucking life. And so, what's my point? Just, this is better for me and other people. And so, and if you're probably no one's watching this, but for whatever that you're deriving from watching this, fucking have at it. I was like bummed out a few days ago because I was looking and I was seeing there was all these trolls that were like just knocking me, and I was like, why are people mean to me? But like, I'll take trolls. If you can have fun like making fun of me, I can't say that I can't blame you, because like, you got to derive some fun from this, because if I'm not gonna like chat back, I can't really like chat with people. I'm not really like, I'm too nervous. And so, especially without going to jiu-jitsu, and so like, if you want to make fun of me, I can't blame you. Like, you gotta have some fun, right? So like, I'm fine with that. That's a win-win exchange. As long as I don't look at the insults, people can mock me and say nasty things in the comments. At least then I feel like, if at least somebody comments, even if I won't look at the comment, but if I see like a number of comments, I'll be like, cool, somebody watched my thing, I'm not alone. I'll take that. I'll take trolling anybody watching my thing, for even if it's just to make fun of me. As long as I don't look at the comments, that's a win-win exchange. And in my opinion, it's better than getting bossed around by some nasty shrew. I don't want to be a misogynist, but really, like, that was my whole fucking childhood. Whole fucking childhood was just skinny, effeminate, terrified, middle-aged man who's just really boring and dull, getting bossed around by some woman who's like, your life is over, go do my stuff, you need me. And he's like, I'm just lucky to have her. I'm never doing that. I'm never doing that. And there's like, if the older I get, the more and more, every once in a while there'll be some lady who's like, oh, there's a fucking washed up loser sucker, I could use you. Like some single mom who's just like, I'm not mocking it, but that's all it's been. Last 4 years is just, there's so many single moms, and I don't want to be a misogynist, but just like, where's the dads? There's these guys who are like knocking up women, and they're just like, I got more fucking to do. Some wimpy loser guy can do the work, and I'm just like, I'm never fucking doing that. Anyway, there's a little voice in my head that says, you're lost, Sean, you're lost. No, it's horrible, it's not worth it. Just fucking tons of fucking just doing a bunch of things you don't want to do, and then like, you're barely attracted to each other. I'll never get it. I'll never understand the typical adult lives and situations that I see out there. Actually, to be really honest, what I see mostly from people over the age of 45 is, if they didn't get married, there's a lot of isolated older people all around. The Beatles talked about that. They talked about, look at all the lonely people. Look at all the lonely people. And the Beatles, they're like, I don't get it. Father Mackenzie, he's right next door to Eleanor Rigby. Why don't all these older people get married? And it's like, well, that's easy for you to say, Mr. 20-something rock star Beatles. You have all these 20-year-old groupies that you're having sex with. Why don't you go be with the older, bitter people who are nasty and full of baggage? And it's like, you don't like them either. What's my point? Did it ever occur to you that those nasty, older, unattractive people like myself and everybody else around me, like, we don't like each other. If some older woman saw me, she's like, I don't like you either. We're all desperate and riddled with fear and baggage and just terror and neuroticism and tics and medications, and just like, I just think I think you're supposed to get married when you're young, and then to some degree I think it's not really supposed to work. That's not necessarily true. There are older people who do get married, but it seems really clear that I'm never going to do it, and I never could have really done it. Anyway, I'm just going to keep saying this. I got to stop saying the same neurotic shit over and over. So really, like, as soon as I can, that I should establish a routine that involves like art, and I should occupy my mind from morning to night, and I should stop making these videos. And if I should remember that if I don't occupy my mind and set a schedule and get myself going and focus and do something constructive, this is what happens. Just total neurotic, like fucking somebody help me, and nobody's gonna fucking help me. But I need to at least make these videos just to not be sitting in a room in fucking total isolation. Anyway, and I expect no pity. I know, no pity. It's fine.